All right, everyone, it's John Papa Giorgio, Papa's Basement. I'm joined today with the most professional, by the most professional, that's how you nail. I was going to say by the most professional broadcasters, and I said with, because I'm tired. I don't know why, I've been tired all week. I'm joined by Bill Rohalnd.
Is that professional broadcaster like on your podcast?
I think in general you have
all right.
an amazing resume.
Well.
Like you've been in radio for what, 25 years now? How long has it been?
Sure, yeah, that's probably about right.
You've got a long track record, dude.
Sure.
I've been at this, I guess, what, 12-ish now, but this is like a once a week podcast. You were doing like 5-hour shifts for the majority of your career.
5 days a week, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a slight difference, just a little. It's the difference between pickup hoops and being like Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, well, yeah. I guess, but
so I'm lucky enough to get to record with you every so often because you were, I guess for the majority of the time I was even slightly on air, you were like the host I was producing for, and every time we get to do this I'm thankful because most people are like, he's so professional. Anytime the feedback I get on the episodes that feature you, it's strong feedback.
I appreciate your mom enjoying my appearances on your podcast.
My mom has not listened in years to this. I don't know what episode specifically turned her off. Like she wanted to support it for a while, and then it hit a point where she was like, I don't need to hear about exactly how you jerk off when I'm in the house, so we're done.
That's fair.
We're cool, yeah. You did all the prep this week, which means for 10 minutes you looked at stuff and then you walked in and you're like, let's talk about this. I'm like, that is fine.
Yeah.
And then you said, let's talk about this. I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's interesting because, a lot of times when you're prepping when you're doing the daily show or whatever, and you're trying to prep for stuff, it's just, you just look back for the last 24 hours. And anything beyond that is probably nothing.
Exactly.
But for this, I'm always like, when I know that you and I are going to talk or be on the podcast, and I love doing it because it gives me an opportunity to do more stuff outside of just doing sports stuff. I always look back and I'll see something like, oh, I got to remember. I'm taping with John. I got to remember to have that. I got to remember to have that.
You
and
get
then,
to pick a greatest hits.
Yeah, and it's like 3, but it could be from 2 or 3 weeks ago because we just haven't sat down.
It's been a minute,
and
yeah,
everything.
Which
so
I'm going to try to rectify.
No, I understand. So it's always interesting to be like, oh yeah, I want to talk about that, and then a week go by, and for whatever reason, our schedules didn't work out. And I'm like, okay, well, that's no good anymore.
Yeah.
I can't go back to that because everybody has moved on. It is amazing in this day and age how quickly things just aren't
and yet
a
we
thing
can
anymore.
Still do something on that new "Where's the Beef" commercial.
By the way,
tearing up the airwaves.
Wendy's has whoever their social media person is
Yes.
really good. If you follow them on Twitter, I know some of it's really lame.
Okay.
But every once in a while, they do some really good interaction with people. They are impressive.
That is one of the only things that I wish I had been born like 5 years later or 10 years later
So
for.
you could just be snarky
Just
Twitter
to
guy
be
for some corporation.
Sardonic little twat. Yeah, hiding behind a keyboard. Because it's what I did in my 18s and my 20s.
Right.
And I like how I said my 18s, like there's plural 18s. Like I
you
failed
got held
being
back
18.
a year.
Yeah.
You got held back a year.
It's exactly, I just did I am all the time, like I tried to be funny online for people.
Right,
and
right.
so I could have made a living at that. I'm not saying they get paid great, but yeah, there's countless people who commend those sorts of accounts, and it's like, oh, their Twitter game's on fire, it's on point. And I'm like, it's just some dipshit doing it. Like, let's not act like there's some magic behind it.
There's no real magic, but there are some that are better than others.
Absolutely.
And they can walk that line of being sarcastic or being funny, and then there are some that's like you're trying too hard. Whoever it is that does it for Wendy's has found that sweet spot.
Really? Okay.
They do a really, really... And I don't follow them. I just see the retweets. I don't follow them on Twitter.
That's pretty huge then. Yeah, if you don't follow and you just see the second hand.
Yeah, so I wait to see what everybody else is retweeting and everything and all that stuff. So, but whenever a retweet comes, I'm like, okay, you know what? That was worth, because there's so much stuff that goes around on Twitter that people are like, oh, this is the best. And you're like, nah, it's not really that funny. It's really not that good. They do a pretty good job.
Okay, yeah. The only thing I see secondhand, because like you, I'm not very in shape, but I'm not to the point where I'm following goddamn McDonald's on Twitter. Like, that's a whole new
I'm
tier
not doing
of fat.
that.
Or
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, McRib is back 2 days.
Right.
I will secondhand see a lot of Arby's stuff because I think they do a lot of Nintendo themes.
They're pretty good too.
Yeah.
They're pretty good too. They do, again, there are a few of them out there that do a really good job.
Yeah, like I'll see a Triforce made of French fries. And they're like, are you ready, Link? You're like, yeah, sure, yeah, we'll do it.
Right. But going back to, it's amazing to me that, a week ago, or maybe a little bit more, you couldn't walk outside, you couldn't go online, you couldn't turn on TV without it being, oh my gosh, Ralph Northam, blackface. Yes. It's everywhere. Now, look, he played the long game. Ralph Northam was like, at first, and the whole thing was screwed up because he's like, yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
And then the next day he was like, yeah, that apology wasn't me. He went all Shaggy on him. Wasn't me. Nope, wasn't me. That yearbook page wasn't me.
That's how reflexive. Yeah, that would happen to me a lot. Where like an ex would be like, "I found some shit." Were you talking to someone? And you're like, just reflexively, you're like, "I'm sorry, baby, it won't happen again." And then you're like, "Wait a minute, I wasn't cheating on this particular."
Right? It's like, hold on a second.
How dare you?
But so he went the whole thing, and remember, he was going to have like some sort of like computer program that would be able to like scan his face and scan the guy in the blackface because you couldn't scan the guy in the hood. That wasn't going to work.
That never happened.
Right.
The blackface.
Right. So whatever happened with that? Nothing.
I mean,
nothing. And the best thing that happened to him was now they got the Justin Fairfax, the lieutenant governor. Like there's a couple of chicks that come out and were like, yeah, Me Too movement, by the way.
Yeah.
However many years ago.
Well, I don't even. Was
and
his
nobody's
even that,
paying attention to that anymore.
Was his even that Me Too-y, or was it more like he legit like held me down and raped me type stuff?
Well,
I don't know.
We don't know. Remember, you're supposed to believe everyone.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just there's a lot to unpack right there with the Northam thing.
There's a ton.
I like saying that now. By the way, I've said it for a couple months.
The Northam thing.
Well, no, a lot to unpack.
Oh,
Isn't that such a rich thing? Like it just sets you up for 5 minutes of bullshit. And you're like, there's so much to unpack. Except then you do like 30 seconds. You're like, guess it was a shallow suitcase.
Right. It was just an overnight bag.
The first thing that I'll say about the Northam case, real fast, why the fuck the Dems are so quick to like kick one of their own out, regardless of what, and we'll get to whether I think it's particularly offensive or not. I know you're waiting with bated breath for this white straight male's opinion, but like after what happened with Trump and like how every fucking scandal has just gone in the span of a week, more or less, in terms of the public consciousness.
Right. But that happens with everything. That's my point with this. It's gone now. For the I would say for the most part, the outrage machine has moved on.
And why they feel the need to throw their own overboard. Whereas Trump, like, do you remember they dropped the grab him by the pussy tape like what, 2.5 weeks or something before election? They must have thought like, shit, this sealed it. By that fucking Monday, like the right was able to just like spin it in the direction they needed to be like, fuck it, still vote for Trump. Like, all right, cool, he's a piece of shit. You want babies killed? No. All right, cool, you're back on. Like, had they done it literally, we're so ADD as a society. Had they put that down, maybe, I'm not exaggerating, maybe the Saturday before the election, it would have been enough outrage for people on the right to be like, fuck, I might sit this out. But like in the span of 2 weeks, it's already been spun 5 different times.
But see, I don't even know.
I'm spitting a lot.
I don't even know if it's to that point yet where you go, I'm going to sit this one out, because it's now gotten to, I think, and look, I'm no Trump fan. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for Hillary either. I wrote in my friend. I thought he would do a fantastic job as president, so I wrote his name in.
Did you put Chris Jolly?
I did. I vote for Chris Jolly anytime that I need to have a write-in vote. He's my go-to, because I think the world would be a better place if he were in charge of certain things. In any case, no one was voting necessarily for Trump, I don't think. They just weren't voting for Hillary.
I think a lot of it, to be honest, it was successfully portrayed as, look, you're voting for the Supreme Court to be like, we're going to fight abortion.
See, now you're reading way, and you're giving people way too much credit.
No, I think the average person's dumb as shit. Like, I'll level with you. I think Trump was elected, no bullshit, 100% only because of Apprentice. Like, I believe the Russia crap and stuff.
No, I get really, that. Oh, sure.
I think the average fucking like trucker in Nebraska was like, TV man smart, TV man money, TV man get my vote. That's it. Like, that's my flawless impression. That's the Nebraska accent done to a T, by the way. Just, you'll never hear it.
But he also, again, this has all been done from the 2016 election, but he also...
Look at us talking about fast news cycles, doing a Trump segment.
But he also won because, again, people were put off. Those same Nebraska, more to the point, Wisconsin, Michigan, people like that were just so put off by what Hillary and they were and her ilk were doing by just basically saying, well, of course you have to vote for us because we're smarter than you, and you should put us in charge because we're smarter than you are.
Her strategy, I think, that failed. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I voted for Hillary. I mean, I'll be honest, as much as I'll fucking trash the Dems or whatever, but their strategy, I think they kind of gambled on those just being votes in the bag, and so they didn't show up there even once. They're like, fuck, the Midwest has been blue since like when, 80 or some crap like that? I don't know.
Well, they were for Reagan. I was going to say, after Reagan. It wasn't, Reagan destroyed everybody.
Was it 84 when he got everything?
49 out of 50.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's a victory, as we call it.
Yeah, it was pretty convincing. But I think both parties have a problem, not to turn into politics talk in Papa's basement, but both of them have a problem because the Democrats have allowed some real crazies, and there are crazies on both sides, no doubt, but they've allowed some real crazies to become front and center of their party.
Like your girlfriend, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah. You love her.
Yeah. But the problem is that you can have all these new ideas. I'm all for new ideas. Look, something ain't working. Tell me how you think it would be better. Let me analyze it and then go, you know what? Let's give that a try. Check the box off. Let's go for it. But they've gotten to the point where it's not like, hey, here's what we think. How about it? It's, we're smarter than you, so you're going to do this.
Okay.
And it's, to me, it's insulting to the average person that looks at it and goes, oh, hold on a second. I can think for myself. Present to me the reason why you want to do it, not just, well, here's the proposal. Okay, how are you going to do this? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're smart enough. We'll take care of it. You just do what you're supposed to do. You're not smart enough to comprehend all this stuff. Trust us. It's insulting. I won't ever vote for them because they're not looking at it and saying, neither side is. Yeah. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the Republicans are being like, open book, here's what we want to do. They're both kind of doing it of the, no. Let us, we'll take it. You just vote for us. We'll take care of everything else.
But I think the average person is really stupid.
They may be.
Agree on that?
Sure, I guess.
Okay. As long as we leave it at that.
But you do have that part of, I think, a voting block that is looking at it and going, wait a minute. That's not how this works. You know, we don't need to be told about all these things. Show us what you're going to do. Don't just tell us it's going to happen.
All right. I mean,
and look, the whole idea of her of going out there and saying, "Oh, my thing was hacked," when they put it up online where it had the unwilling to work clause in the thing, she wasn't hacked.
No, she wasn't. Yeah,
they just rushed
someone tweeting their dick out is like, "I was hacked."
Right. It's about, you know what? That's a perfect analogy for that. That's the equivalent of what they did, putting that out there before it was ready.
I'll be honest, I haven't paid a ton of attention. This isn't me copping it. I haven't paid a ton of attention to the Green New Deal thing. I heard
there's no reason to. It's a farce.
I mean, like, I'm down with us trying to not march the world towards global death.
I agree with you 100% there. Absolutely. But do you honestly think that every single vehicle in the country should be off of gasoline in 10 years? Well, and that won't cause a shit show.
I mean, again, if I could snap my fingers, I'd fucking do it now.
Sure. And if I were a genie and you rubbed the lamp, I'd get it done for you as well. But
I don't know. In terms of a time frame, I honestly don't know if that's feasible. I'm guessing no.
I wouldn't think.
I would counter with this. I think there's like environmental scientists out there who are like, dude, we're fucked either way. Like you really could be a genie and like and
it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, we're just done. So I don't know. I'm really torn on that one because it's like the feasibility. Like I think maybe as a world, like happy Valentine's Day, by the way. I think we might need to accept that like we're kind of done. Like, it's not savable. Like, we've gone... And I'm not saying that to then go in a nihilist path with it. Try to do it. But I think you're articulating a reality. Like, I think there are two realities that can't reconcile themselves, or they do reconcile themselves with our death. Like, on one hand, we need to get this greenhouse shit gone as of yesterday. And on the other, like, the average person just wants to, like, feed their family and can't really abandon the car they paid for.
But when they throw stuff on there about farting cows,
and
things like that, that's when I just go, really?
Well, no,
this is absurd.
Again, you're coming up against like a genie situation where if we could unfuck that pussy, to use science talk, like we shouldn't. Like, cows are horrible for the environment. Like, their methane fucks shit up just to farm for cows. Like, you have to, I think, isn't it pretty much the concept? You have to raise so much ground to just raise a couple bits of beef on it.
But here's the question.
Yeah.
You eliminate beef.
Sure. Okay.
Now what?
Exactly. And that's the other side of the coin. What happens to fill that food void? And what I'm saying the answer to a lot of this is, and it's not me blowing it off in a nihilistic way saying like, cool, fuck it, I'm going to drive my like 57 Chevy using lead gasoline.
God, I'd love
because
to do
of
that
this.
again. That'd be tremendous.
I think the answer none of us want to face is, cool, we're just going to die soon.
Okay, well, I'm almost 50, so I figure.
And
is it? Are you telling me it'll happen in the next 50 years?
No.
Okay, then I don't care.
I think you're good to go.
I think as horrible as that sounds,
it's kind of why I'm not having kids.
Don't care.
I think personally as humans, we've fucked the planet. Like, if I could, again, the genie thing, fuck, we need genies. Why aren't we working on genie technology? But if I could, like...
Where's Aladdin?
Yeah, just rub
not
some
the
lamp
ugly,
and we...
crazy-looking purple one that Will Smith looks awful.
If we could... Like, if I could just say, like, cool, all of humanity disappears and the wildlife gets to live, I would do that. But even I don't think that will happen. No, because I don't care. We've squandered our fucking time on this earth. You know what we did with it? We made a few podcasts.
But I mean, were the animals really doing a good job with it before we showed up?
I mean, they didn't just fuck it all to shit.
How do we know? We weren't around. We have no idea. Clearly, they didn't survive. I mean, if the dinosaurs were in charge because they were the biggest and baddest, but if they were the biggest, baddest on the planet, well, they didn't make it.
Something else will happen, I guess, probably at some point, cataclysmically. But, like, something will fucking make it. The ferns, I don't know. Weren't they around? Ferns and dragonflies? And then 100 million years, you got gorillas? I don't goddamn know. I'm not a scientist, man. I personally... Their proposals, I don't have any visceral, like, blah, America reaction. When she's like, get rid of beef, I'm like, well, fuck, if we could, and it would fix everything, then sure, but yeah.
But it wouldn't fix...
I don't think it
would fix anything, to be honest with you.
Like, what she's proposing is, like, we shouldn't have become, like, so beef-heavy 100 years ago, almost. Now, do you try to pare it back? I don't know. I don't know if you
ever had a delicious steak?
Put the genie back in the bottle.
You ever had a delicious steak? You ever had
even when I ate
nice
a ton of meat,
ribs?
I wasn't the biggest steak dude.
How about
for
ribs?
Reason. Yeah, ribs I liked.
They're
when I was
delicious,
eating a lot
right?
Of meat. Yeah,
why
good.
would you want to deprive humanity of having just a
delicious
plate of beef ribs?
I mean,
that's what you're talking about.
You're arguing convenience versus like maybe trying to save the earth.
No, I'm arguing delicious.
Yeah,
is what I'm arguing.
You're arguing yum yums versus and it's hard to. It's the same reason I am very out of shape because like I want to be in shape, but then my mom's like, "Here's a bag of chocolate," and I'm like, "Fuck." Okay, I don't even have that in my head anymore. Okay, it's just a snack.
Do you love chocolate?
Yeah, it's the best thing on earth. Like, it's what I live on.
You do realize that some chocolate is made from milk, which comes from cows that you want to get rid of.
Oh, not just that.
What, am I going to start eating almond milk chocolate? Ugh,
I mean,
gross.
Again,
no more baseball gloves.
I can't even make the connection in my head that me eating deliciously is why I'm incredibly out of shape. Like, like I'm in Baltimore every week right now for improv. And every week I make a point to get an extra special sandwich after improv.
Because it's delicious.
I go to Isabella's Deli, an Italian joint. Or
where's our bell? To...
Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, bring us in deliver some food. Like we did at the old station.
Yeah, exactly.
Where we do the plugs on air for food. And I do Atman's, the Jewish deli lately. I don't even, dude, I don't really eat meat, but I go to Atman's. I'm like, give me a goddamn Reuben. Because I'm like, I might as well be, I'm here. Like, I'm not like you. I'm like, I recognize meat is like murder and kind of fundamentally evil. You're killing a living being for this. And I'm like, fuck it. I still want my fucking Reuben.
Right. Because you know what? Because we're higher on the food chain. At some point, we have to eat. And our ancestors figured out these animals are pretty damn tasty.
And I guess, again, you could say that the way modern cow cultivation has almost nothing to do with how our ancestors ate. I'm going by the historical documentary that I watched last night called Year One,
right,
starring one Jack Black and Michael Cera. I don't know. I just don't think it's fixable. And that, I guess, where we differ. I'm not saying don't try to fix it. I'm just of that very nihilistic, like, holy, like, we are done. Like, it's legit. Like, you had unprotected sex last week with the prostitute, and now you're like, I need to get my AIDS test. It's like, get your AIDS test, but, like, you're done if you, there's not even, that's not even the best metaphor, because they got the cocktail.
I think there are things that need to be worked on and fixed and changed and everything, but it's just this idea that everything that needs to be done, we need to do all this stuff, and the government needs to be the people that do it. I guess that, to me, is where I look at it and go, why them? Because what does the government do good other than fight wars?
I mean, I'm more of a government dude, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to do anything on a massive scale. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
It's damn near impossible. I fucking have a hard time putting together 3 people to record a sketch. Like, I really, the fact that anything can be done on a massive scale, be it by government or private corporations,
it's very hard to do.
It's fucking honestly magic.
It's very hard to do.
Anyone that really, I feel, mouths off heavily about either enterprise, it's like, have you tried to do much on your own? Like, try to take a fucking family of 4 to Delaware. You know, that's hard as shit. Like, to have an organization in place that accomplishes anything.
Sure.
It's spellbinding. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Let's talk blackface. Let's get back to that.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Or the Grammys.
To Northam, where we started. We all started with
that,
with the Northam thing. But that's the thing, again, going back to it, that the outrage machine has moved on.
Yes.
And part of it was what we were just talking about. People got outraged about this, the Green New Deal or whatever they're calling it. So I think Northam's brilliant in playing this long game of just being like, you know what? The longer I say, I'm working on it, I want to get it fixed, the more time that goes by, because again, you also have to remember, Virginia, you can't run for re-election. As a governor, you're one term, and that's it.
I forgot that.
He gets his 4 years, and he's gone.
Who gives a fuck, though?
So if you're him, maybe your political career is probably over. I don't know if he had any thought of going on to the Senate like Mark Warner did or other people, but I think he's pretty much going to be able to be like, you know what? I'm not leaving. I'm playing the long game. I'm hanging out, sticking around.
Okay,
Good luck
is
to you.
Where I am, and this is where I'll put my foot in my mouth, I guess, but I don't give a fuck. It's just what I think on the matter. What he did is not exactly blackface. Like, blackface is a very specific... Have you ever watched Spike Lee's Bamboozled? I'm such a massive racist that I celebrate Spike Lee.
I don't think I've seen that one of his. I've seen a lot of Spike Lee stuff. I don't think I've seen that one.
It delves very deep into the history of blackface and black caricature.
Minstrel shows.
Exactly. It's and to me, and I could be wrong, maybe the goalposts have moved here, but blackface is a very specific... I've put on charcoal black... I have the white around my lips. I have the ruby red lipstick.
The really over-exaggerated features.
Yes, like fucking even Hitler would have been like, I am sorry, but...
That's too much.
Yes,
That's
lines
too
were
much.
crossed this evening, sir. But this wasn't... This was like a dude, I guess, the costume, which...
It was a Halloween costume on this shoe.
But like,
it's awful.
Dumb shit done all the time by college kids. As my brother mentioned, like... This is a yearbook that went through a yearbook committee. So by the fucking, society's mores at the time, this was just him being irreverent or some shit. If it was him, if it wasn't, I don't fucking know. Let's just assume it was a multiplicity situation. He's the guy in blackface. He's the guy in the fucking hood. He took the fucking camera. I don't care. Assume whatever. But he was a dude doing black skin for a dumb costume. I mean, I had a friend 20 years ago who did a similar gag. He had a black best friend. In home ec class, the two of them sewed a fucking KKK outfit together. The black kid wore the KKK outfit and said racial shit to the white kid while walking around the halls. It was pretty funny at the time.
That's like the Dave Chappelle sketch.
Yes.
Where you've got the blind guy who's the racist.
Clayton Bigsby.
Yes.
I'm pained you don't remember that name.
I don't.
Clayton Bigsby, yeah. I don't think, like, if you want to call it a shit costume, sure. Whoever was in the quote-unquote blackface, which I will refer to as, like, black skin makeup.
Right.
It wasn't for the purpose of doing an old-timey mammy minstrel show fucking thing. Like, even, like, he then had to apologize because a couple of years later, he was like, I did do, as he put it, blackface, because we've been boxed into fucking calling it blackface.
Right.
Like, I put on quote-unquote blackface to be Michael Jackson. It's like, no, motherfucker, you dressed as Michael Jackson.
Well, but here's the question on that.
Skin makeup too.
What year was it?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Michael Jackson might not have been black
this
at that
was
point.
Michael Jackson with Macaulay Culkin in black or white. Yeah,
right,
so Michael was fucking whiter than you and me at
right,
that point.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm guessing it was a Thriller era, Michael. Like,
I mean, if it was 84 when that yearbook came out, yeah, it was right around
yeah, it was Thriller era,
Yeah, it was
Michael.
Thriller era,
so
Michael.
he was still black.
He was still black.
Bad era Michael was like you know, he looks Costa
He was
Rican
a
at
little
that point.
lighter skinned, yeah.
Yeah. And then
so
Nordic Michael by 92.
Yeah, right. Which I again, I don't understand why he ever went down that road, but he's dead, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you had Mark Herring, the Attorney General, saying that he dressed up like Curtis Blow, and Curtis Blow was like, yeah, that's I'm not down with that.
He said that. That's fine, and that's cool with Curtis. I defy you to find that massive a racist that's going to be fucking celebrating Curtis Blow. But at the same...
I get it. But I mean, Curtis Blow, again, after he heard about it, was like, yeah, that's not really... I'm not... He wasn't flattered by it. Let's say that
and that would be a point in the column against me. What can I say?
No, I mean, but he's got every right to be like, yeah, I'm not real okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was him. He said, I did it to be like Curtis Blow. And Curtis Blow's like, yeah, that's great. I'm not really impressed with that. But thanks, even though it was 30-some years ago or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm simply of the school of thought that morality shifts over time, like shift over time. And again, I'm going to go with what I think currently the left is doing. Do you know how many people on the left are still very open about, like, I love bacon, yummy, yummy, yummy? Like, do you know how moral a lot of people, which I guess they would consider some sort of loud majority themselves, ironically enough,
right,
are passionately anti-meat, man. And I will fucking always take this back to an anti-meat thing. Because again, I eat it now and again, but
right.
Like, I'm pretty open about the fact, like, yeah, you fucking killed like a sentient being to shove this shit in your mouth.
Sure.
Like,
but we wouldn't have survived as a species if we just ate plants.
No, we wouldn't. I guess right now we're at a point where we can make that distinction. Like, we're also, like, we as a society have decided, like, your shit goes into the shit seat. You know, like, you don't just shit all over the place anymore.
Sure.
We did that for millions of years, but now we have the magic shit chair.
Right.
But there was a millennial co-hostess we used to have on the show, Butters, all the time. Like, Butters
from South Park?
Yeah, we pretty much call her Butters. Butters was uppity as shit when it came to anything like sexuality-based, racial stuff.
Right.
Like this Northam stuff, she would be fucking shaming the hell out of us now for even being like, look, things have changed. And good for her. She's fucking younger than us. You know what I mean? Like, she's raised differently. But I would then try to counter that with, like, how do you feel about, like, the killing of a pig to then feed you? She'd be like, fuck the fucking pig. You know?
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's not very woke.
Sure, but on some level, people look at it and they'll say, well, humans are more important than animals.
Yeah.
So if I have to live and an animal has to die, that's
and what I'm boiling this down to is a lot of morality is relative, man.
Of course.
Like, you're making one case and that's cool. Like, there's not much in terms of, like, universally accepted, like, don't rape and don't kill. What else?
Yeah,
don't steal shit. Pretty much 10 Commandment level stuff.
Sure.
Like, outside of that.
Oh, see, now you went to biblical and people won't like that. No, I agree. I mean, it's like politics. It's like anything else. It all begins at home. Your morality, your politics begin at your house. What is going to be good for you? People can talk about, oh, no, I always vote for the greater good. Bullshit. If you think the greater good is going to benefit you or is going to be better for you, then yes, you're going to be like, yes, I'm going to do this for the greater good. So that's where it comes down to. If you know that you can survive without having to have meat, that you can make that choice and you can go and find the grocery stores and pay the money that you have to pay at Whole Foods or whatever it is to eat as a vegetarian or a vegan, have at it. Mm-hmm. That's not possible for a lot of people in society. It's just not.
Well, I think America's kind of skewed that way. Isn't the whole deal like in Asia, they don't eat a ton of meat? It's mostly...
Sure, fish. If you count fish as meat.
Fish,
I mean,
a lot
the
of
Japanese
rice.
diet has a lot of fish in it.
It does. My lunchbox B that I get over at Blue Ocean, that's like all salmon. Man.
Yeah, and again, so is that better? Okay, well, they didn't kill a cow. They had to troll for the fish.
Yeah. Exactly. Then the fish,
so
there's a bunch of dolphins and divers in that.
Right, so which is worse. So, I mean,
No, it's all a gray zone. And, well, I mean, again, I shouldn't say that because that is a lazy conclusion to just be like, fuck it. Just throw it all at the wall, see what sticks.
It's whatever. To me, I fall in the more libertarian side of things where I go, hey, man, you do you. You want to not eat meat? Have at it. But I'm not going to sit here and have you tell me that I can't do it. It's not fair. It's my choice.
On the hypocrite side of things.
Okay,
where
that
I
works
vote
too.
Left, but then I pay people to make sure I pay as little in taxes as I can because I don't want to give my money away.
Right.
Because I want things done, but when it comes to fucking,
but it shouldn't be your money doing it,
right? I'm like, you son of a bitch.
And
try
again,
and take
that's
it from me.
politics starting at home, right in your back pocket,
yeah,
right in the wallet.
Oh,
so,
God.
But so again to wrap up, Northam, smart because he's playing a long game. He knows he's not going to be up for re-election. He's going to sit this one out because there will be another outrage and people will forget, nationwide, people will forget all about what's going on in the state of Virginia.
I don't get it. Like, he's clearly a good leader. You know what I mean? And here's a really cool poll that I read about in the Post. When it comes to him leaving office, whites are split 47-47. Guess how the black vote
I think it's 58% wanted to stay.
You remember the number.
I do, of course.
58%.
Yeah, and that's what some of the black leaders are like. Yeah, I called for him to leave, but the people in my area, in my district, are like, no, we want him to stay. So now they're like, oh shit, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So good for him playing the law game, but I don't understand because there was a thing in the Post, because again everybody's still all up in arms about this, that they've gone back through the yearbooks at UVA, they've gone back through the yearbooks at University of Maryland, and oh my gosh, they found all the. No kidding, you found all these pictures from the 20s and 1910s and 1930s. Of course you did.
What if I told
that was
you
society
in the 1850s? You could do something horrible with the black.
Yeah, right. I mean, why are we suddenly shocked? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's outrageous.
Move away from it. I'm in no way advocating that in 2019 someone should be able to I mean, if you want to put on blackface to make a point, be my fucking guest. Be prepared.
Yeah, that's right.
But
hell. You have to serve the consequences.
Be prepared to fucking catch hell for it.
Right.
I'm just saying, a dude that did it in the early 80s. Fucking come on, man. We're going to move to a point soon. I'm talking soon, where drag's not going to be considered kosher. And I'm not saying this in a taking it too far way. Bill, this is legit going to happen in 10 or 15 years. Drag is going to be considered either trans insensitive or simply some sort of being aggressive towards women.
Yeah, but can't you just say I'm identifying as a woman that day? I mean, right? That's your argument. I'm allowed to do that, aren't I? I wouldn't. Yeah. But isn't that the argument that you could use if somebody went, "You're being disrespectful"? No, I'm just identifying as a woman that day.
I'm presenting thusly this day.
I don't know the proper terminology.
I learned it this weekend. We had I'm not bullshitting. We had a 30-minute conversation in my improv class on safe spaces. And my buddy that I told about it,
Did you want to put a bullet in your head?
Here's why I'll say no. First of all, as shitty as that sounds on the surface, when you're in the middle of it, you're like, all right, whatever, let's listen to this. I don't want to grab anyone inappropriately, but also I had the worst shits and I had just emptied out. So I was like, fuck, I'm happy to let that cool down. And like, just like, I was tired.
Right.
I just crapped my guts out. Like, I was just happy someone wasn't walking to the bathroom after me. Like, someone did, but it wasn't like the attractive girl in the class. I was like the older woman. I was like, cool, smell my shit. Enjoy that, lady. It was weird. Like, I try not to be judgy about a fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, the safe space shit, I kind of roll my eyes at, but, you know, it was interesting to hear other people's takes. Like, I got some friends who are, like, fucking way into Trump and guns lately. And you know what? I kind of just smile and nod. I'm like, all right, fuck, let's hear what you got to say. You know, like, if you just let people talk, for the most part, we're into the same shit. We want to make money and, you know, live a life.
Right. I think everybody just wants to be left alone as much as possible to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And go on about their lives.
Yeah.
And not, again, goes back to not having people tell them what they have to do, how they have to do. I mean, we have enough of that as it is.
Yeah.
We don't need more of it. That's where I am on it. Just stop.
You're a freedom first dude.
Yeah. Yes.
That's, I mean, I don't know if anyone can argue. It's a good place to be. Who doesn't like liberty? No, you're making me think of that, of the sit down talk we had.
I feel bad for you for having to sit through that, because I wouldn't be good in that situation, because yes, I would let somebody listen until they start dropping a bunch of buzzwords, and I'd be like, you don't believe any of that. You read it on Twitter or Reddit or somewhere, and you're trying to just be woke because a year ago you never would have thought that. Not that people's opinions can't change and can't evolve, but seriously.
I mean, again, I'm presenting this without comment. I know people would think I'd laugh at it. I didn't give much of a shit either way. Like, the one person, there was someone like you said where I felt like they were trying to be very woke and stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, well, fuck, if you really feel this way, who am I to say otherwise? I don't fucking care.
You want to know how woke I am? I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
That, to me, you can't be any more woke than that.
Yeah.
To have somebody be like, well, I'm going to, fine, do that. As long as you're not impeding upon my ability to live my life and do what I want to do within the reasonable norms of society, I don't care what you do. So don't come sit there and yell at me and be like, oh, you're privileged this and this, that, and cis. And shut up. Just shut up.
I think that's where I just want everyone to shut up, and really, if I could push that kill everyone switch, I'd probably do that. Like, I'd say goodbye to everyone. It wouldn't be a painful death, you know. It'd be like the way we put down the cows. It'd be just a magic bolt
just
through
a
the
bolt
skull.
through the skull,
and
there
be included. I don't want to rule some empty planet. I'll say what's up, and then, you know, my fucking cats eat my corpse 5 minutes later, and that's the start of year zero. But the present term, I got that because there's a dude in my class who legit looks like a fucking police sergeant, like has the standard issue mustache,
right.
And he was going on. And
looks like an extra from like Super Troopers or something.
Exactly. He's pretty much Farva with better hair. And he was like, you know, everyone assumes my characters are always going to be male because improv's all makeup. You just walk out. You know? Everyone assumes because I present as male. And I was like, well, yeah, you're fucking straight dude as shit.
You have a mustache.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I mean, I'll give him this.
What is he, angry because people don't look at him as a woman? Please let me act my feminine side. Shut up.
I don't know if it was anger or not.
Shut up.
It was just, again, it was a fucking funny point I would have never considered. You walk out with a dude on stage, typically, you're like, what's up, man? And then here's if you're in a scene and you're like, oh, hey, baby, you do that. No one ever assumes that you're endowing that other person to be a woman. They always just go to the 10 gay with it. They're like, oh, hey, lover. You know, like that's how they reply.
Right. See?
It's funny like that, man. It's just, again, I present without comment, honestly. Like, I'm not doing that with an eye roll. What the fuck do I know? You know what I mean?
Right.
We're all going to be in the ground in 20 years.
Exactly. It's somebody much more famous and philosophical than me said, in 100 years, none of this will matter.
Yeah.
In 100 years, none of this will matter.
Where did you get that one from?
That's actually a Jimmy Buffett lyric.
Oh, okay. They used that in Terminator 1.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I don't remember
Sarah
that.
Connor's having a horrible day over at her restaurant. I forget the restaurant name, but the mascot was named Big Buns.
Wow.
And
good for you. It sounds like a burger joint then.
Yeah. And she like spills some ice cream and a kid dumps a soda on her shit, and her friend Ginger, who then later gets killed by a Terminator, she says, I think, look at it this way, in 100 years, who's going to know or who's going to care? I think who's going to care.
Okay.
How old's the Buffett lyric? Did he
wow.
lift it from James Cameron?
I'd have to look it up. I'm sure that's a saying that's been around,
of course,
for a while, you know. It probably dates back. Mark Twain probably said something like that.
Probably dates back 100 years.
Could be.
Very timely.
Could
it's a good callback at that point.
Be. Yeah, that's a very good callback. So,
yeah.
Your article that you wrote, it is Valentine's Day, and we haven't done anything on Valentine's Day.
We haven't, no.
But you wrote a good article for what's the site?
ThePromptMag.com, I believe, but it's called The Prompt. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I wrote an article about a couple of years ago when I was in an actual, like, honest-to-God relationship. Not my normal shit, where legitimately, like, I find women online. Like, I've had girlfriends that I met via Reddit Gone Wild, where it's just like...
Is that an actual thing?
Yeah, where it's just, like, fucking girls who are, like, naked... And back now,
oh dear God!
Oh yeah, now it's like 2 million followers on Reddit.
I would imagine so.
But in the day, it was like 100,000 of them or something. Oh
well, yeah,
so,
you had your pick then. There's only 100,000 of you
like
guys.
If there was a real smoke show, you'd be like, "Fuck it, what's up? Hi." And like a couple of them, like I wound up dating. One of them I dated for a while.
How did you? They were from here, the DC area.
One was Hoodbridge, and then one was the girl I dated for a while was in Philly. And so I was just like,
long distance. I guess
I didn't give a shit to do it, but like she was really pressing for it, like to hang out. And I was like, fuck, this is a girl you hit up because you thought she was like stunning naked.
Sure.
Like, what? And it was right after I'd gotten out of JFK. So
I
pretty much made my own schedule.
I don't know how I never heard about this, but now
it
makes
was
sense.
Right after JFK when we worked together. And I was like, okay, fuck it. I've never been to Philly. I went there and like we had a summer where we fucked a ton. Can't complain. I've had worse summers.
Sure. It sounds like a fantastic summer.
Yeah. So this was one of the first people where I met via a dating app where everyone was clothed, you know, and I was like,
where everyone is clothed.
What did you want to talk about exactly? It was just, she was local. She was Rockville area, which, I mean, sure, in traffic, that could mean 2 hours.
I was going to say, you might as well go to Philly.
Zero traffic, 40 minutes.
Right,
for me, given I fucked a girl in Philly for fucking 6 months, 40 minutes I could do standing on my head.
Yeah, that's not... I mean, when I first started dating the girl that I'm a woman, I shouldn't say girl, I was going to say girlfriend, but pretty much common law wife, although Virginia doesn't recognize that. I mean,
are you going to get that? Do you get half of this house now?
No, no, not at all. I wouldn't want half of it anyway. Okay. But it'll be 14 years in August.
Wow.
So it's been a long time. But when we first started dating, that's when I was in Baltimore. That was pre-JFK. Days. So I would make that drive.
She was based right here.
Oh yeah, she's lived here in Centerville area for all that time. I was in Baltimore.
That would be the tail edge of what I'd be comfortable with, and maybe that's a desperate thing.
To say no, I mean because we met. I was living in Fairfax.
Okay,
and then I moved to take the job in Baltimore, like a month, maybe 2 months after we'd gone out a couple of times.
Okay,
so I was making the drive back down here
again
twice a week, like on the weeknight. I would drive down, wait for her. I'd get off the air because I was doing the afternoons with Chad. Chad and I were doing afternoons up on the AM sports station.
You're talking, what, a 6 or 7 ending for that shift?
Yeah, 6, 7 o'clock.
Oh, no,
I'm sorry.
I'm saying. Oh, no, you mean afternoon drive time. Okay,
yeah, so 7 o'clock-ish. So I'd drive here, hour and 20 minutes. And
that's a nice drive for
and then,
that time of day.
Yeah,
Baltimore
right?
To here.
And then she'd put the kids to bed, and then we'd hang out for like an hour and a half.
Come right back up.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then 9:30, 10 o'clock, driving back to Baltimore.
Dude, Jesus.
I did that a couple times a week, and then I'd be down here. My parents still lived here, so I'd drive down the weekends and maybe crash at their house or other friends' houses. And
you're giving me flashbacks to when I was dating this girl.
Did the article. Like, that's how it worked. That's how we started until I moved back down here.
I remember trying to sandwich it. I would take, in essence, half work days where I would leave my house at 10 right when the traffic was starting to taper off.
Right.
Be with her until about 1:30, right when it was really starting to thicken up, because that's what traffic is in this area now. So I get about 3 hours and drive pretty much like an hour on either side. Yeah. So wait, what about the article?
I read it. I thought it was funny.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
I want to apologize. I didn't mean to keep you guys up that entire time.
Yeah. The article, if you haven't read it again, it's, I think, called Keeping Up with the Boneses over on The Prompt. And it's just the story of, I think, my first Valentine's with this girl where I wanted to, do things right. So I bought her. She was horrible about breaking iPhones. I mean, she broke them left and right. So, like, I got her a new iPhone. I got her candies.
Good
I got her,
Lord.
Robes. It was like several $100s worth of shit for a Valentine's.
Almost like $1,000, because the new iPhone, even back then, wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, a few years ago, you're still talking 3 or 4 bills
like
easily.
3-ish or something like that. Yeah. So I really hooked it up, and then out of all the shit, like, we got along, like, it was a very quiet relationship, but I kind of dug that, you know, like, I like someone who just shuts the fuck up. I shut the fuck up. Like, we just watch
and you just
TV
exist together.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, I can get behind
There's a comfort in that.
Yeah, because it's either give me that or give me someone who gets me on every conceivable level and we can talk about anything. But some middle ground where half the shit you say, I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
Right.
No, I don't want that. I'd rather have the silence. So we were kind of the silent-ish thing, and it was cool. You could be deep in thought. But the sex just wasn't, it never clicked for us, sadly. And again, I'm not putting that on either one of us. Like,
see, and that, when I read that, weird dynamic to me, because when I read that, I thought back, and I was like, have I ever had that experience in a relationship?
Well, you and I, off the charts sexual chemistry. Don't have to worry about that.
Well, I understand that. But going back, other than like an occasional, and I haven't had many of these either, of just you meet somebody at a bar, take them home. I think I've only done that maybe once or twice. But I even mean knowing somebody at college and you go and hook up, and you know you're not going to date them, but you hook up. I could only think of maybe like one or two times, and it was never any relationship that I was in that I just felt like, well, we are way not compatible when it comes to stuff. So I was fascinated by that, partly because I'm like, I haven't had that experience. I don't know what that would be. Totally weird.
Yeah, it's I'll describe it this way. Like, the first, so we waited a bit to fool around. Like, we did almost everything but very quickly.
Sure.
And then I was like, oh shit, I got head on the second date, but I haven't had shit in the last 6 dates, so maybe we're just friends. And I was like, kind of cool with that. You know,
pretty
I was
good
like,
friend.
Who gives a fuck? Yeah, exactly.
Pretty good friend.
We should all have friends like that. And around the 6th, 7th date, she was like, did you want to finally have sex? I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do that. So we had sex, and the sex was good for a like kind of brief window. And I don't know if she was just going through things or whatever the hell happened, but very quickly after that, like, it just wasn't offered that much. She didn't seem to be that into it. And like, I was already kind of in the boat.
Right.
Since I've, I correctly assessed the situation. I was like, look, I don't fucking even care to date that goddamn much. Mm-hmm. Like, when I get single from this girl, I don't know when the hell I'll date again. I only did Tinder because it was like kind of new and shiny at the time. Like, I don't give a shit to make an OkCupid.
See, I need to do it. I've missed all of that, and completely happy. Yeah. By the way, I'm not upset. Like, damn, why did I start dating this person? Because but I am completely out of loop on the whole Tinder and whatever the other ones were. I have no idea.
Enough, despite so much of my sex life being based in the online sphere, like girls that I've met IRL. Not through dating apps. Like, I got a lot of girls off of MySpace. I got a lot of girls
now, see, you're going way
off
back,
of precursors to MySpace. Yeah, to date myself even further.
What was before MySpace?
Oh, like, there used to be all kinds of shit, like
just
a mix
trying
of like
to remember.
Vidilli and Friendster and
Rate
My Body and shit like that. There were all sorts of, like, it was this very fractured, like, 13 colonies type thing.
Before everybody became a more perfect union of Match.com owning everything.
Yeah, and once it became explicitly dating stuff, for whatever reason, I guess right after radio, or no, even by the time you and I knew each other, I was back at home. I'd immediately gained weight, probably a mix of depression and my mom
and meds.
Being a fat old lady, and just being like, here, we brush our teeth with chocolate syrup. And like, all right. So I had gotten out of shape and didn't have a place to fuck in peace, so I was just like, I guess I'm out the market. Like, I kind of dedicated myself at that point to what I viewed in radio as like a higher calling, like comedy. You know what I mean? It wasn't. I wasn't happy to go to every radio station. The only one I was really fired up about was where we worked, JFK, because we would do comedy shtick in between the fucking sports bits that we did.
Right.
And I was cool with kind of just flushing down the toilet like 10 years worth of heavy boning, so by the time she came around, I was like, well, fuck, I really wasn't fucking all that much to begin with. Like, this is goddamn weird.
But did you ever have the conversation? Like, do you think if she read that article, would she laugh like I did when you described the Valentine's Day night and you heard the other people having sex in the other room,
the shit out of each other,
just being like a porn tryout or something?
Yeah.
But did you guys ever have the conversation of, hey, this
She would shoot it down like immediately. Like as soon as I would try to bring it up, it was just kind of squelched. I was like, all right, whatever.
Like, what would you try to say? Like, hey, why can we try? I mean, was it because you wanted to experiment more, less?
Oh,
what was the hang up? See, that's what I was trying to figure out is like, okay, what was, because you could be like just fumbling. Again, I'm thinking back to the one occasion where you have sex with somebody and maybe you've had a couple too many drinks, or maybe they've had a couple too many drinks, or you both had a couple too many drinks, and slot A doesn't go into tab B just right. It's a little awkward, but you muddle your way through it, and then you're like, that wasn't my best performance, but I got the job done, and they're not asking for a refund, so
I'm usually a lot of like tab A is too soft to go into slot B. So,
so what was it that just wasn't there? Because to me, I feel like, especially thinking back again, since I've been in this relationship since my mid-30s, I had to go back almost like my late 20s and stuff and go, okay, what would have caused this to be like just a blah thing?
Well,
and I couldn't come up with anything.
So much of my dating before this one like kind of normal relationship was with like, I wasn't joking when I said there were a lot of borderline personality disorder, I'm guessing, cases. So
sometimes the crazy sex is the best sex.
Is all I had really beforehand. So
okay.
A lot of my sex before this was like either like like a couple of them were girls that I was friends with, and I guess they just got pissed at their boyfriends one night or something, and I'd be like, hey, you got a boyfriend, and that's why I never made a move. And they're like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. My boyfriend's not here. And I'd be like, okay, you don't have to tell me twice. And it would be some good-ass shameful sex, you know, like...
Because they're doing the angry revenge sex.
Yeah.
And you're just along for the ride, so to speak.
I'm just the revenge flesh dildo, which is not a bad place to be. And other times, I would meet girls online where out of like, still one of my best experiences to this day. There was a girl on MySpace. I had downloaded her photos back in the day for my little spank folder because... she was putting up like fucking lingerie photos of, just her barely dressed as MySpace.
Way before Instagram models.
She was a fucking nut bar. Yeah. So I took a swipe at her back when I was like weighing probably like 225 or something like that. Like muscled, but had some fat on my gut. I'm weirdly built. So like me at 2 was like pretty in shape.
Right.
So I never got a response. Guy dropped about 25 pounds, was lifting even more, hit her up, got a reply. For 2 weeks, banged, fucked her like every night. It was great. I was like, this is a girl I legit used to jerk off to. This is a fucking trip.
There you go.
And then like out of nowhere, it just kind of never talks to me again. I think she was like, weirdly enough, dating this is a fun story. She was dating like a girl at the time or some shit.
That's a pretty fun
Went
story.
Back to the girl afterward. Yeah, I'm like, okay.
All right.
Cool.
Well, she was just trying to find out exactly where she was in the whole world, and you helped her
throw her back.
You helped her figure out she wasn't into penis. So
no, like honestly, not a bad job. Like fuck, like what
stunt penis. Nothing wrong with that.
But then I would get emotionally involved in that kind of shit, and I'd be
that's
like,
a mistake
because it sucked because I was like, well. This girl was, pretty much my criteria were, are you very attractive? Yes. Are you like very intelligent, like fun to talk to? Yes. I never gave a fuck about the stability for whatever reason. Like I just didn't care. I figured, I guess I assumed that was just a given with people, which
people are stable.
Isn't.
No, they're not.
Absolutely isn't.
Right.
And so I like being a smart dude. It's hard to convey how alone you can feel with people that can't talk with you on any kind of level. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you and I can talk, but it doesn't happen a ton, man. And so with women especially, you try doing that Venn diagram where it's like women I actually like talking to because they can track with my ADD fucking mind.
Right.
Women I want to fuck. Women who fuck well. That's a little section in the middle.
All right.
So this is the first time where it was like, I don't know, she was nice and I found her attractive enough and we talked well enough when we did talk.
Right.
And the sex just really quickly stopped clicking.
But
I was kind of like...
Again, I go to, was it because you wanted to do like weird stuff? Like, honey, why aren't you wearing the nipple clamps anymore? Or was it her saying, hey, I don't understand why you don't want to get blindfolded and handcuffed to the bed? I mean, what was it? Where was the disconnect?
I mean, the disconnect was simply someone who at first seemed to want sex, and then fairly quickly just
But do you
a sex drive kind of evaporated.
Do you think it was because you were into weird stuff? And I don't know if you are into weird stuff or not. I have no idea.
Again,
like that you were into stuff that she was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. So now I don't know that we want to have sex anymore.
I can read the room. Like, if it's a girl that's big into, like, grab me by the hair, pin my fucking hand shit, I can read that. Like,
sure.
I've learned to not start with that. You know, like,
that's kind of like an 8.
Yeah.
You don't want to start at an 8. Yeah.
I've had an ex where she's like, yeah, remember that time you put your hand around my throat? I'm like, I thought I was trying to fuck well, but okay. Like, she would just joke that I was trying to kill her. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's funny. I get it. Ha ha. I wouldn't say that because I very quickly read at least what she was presenting to me was very vanilla in terms of her desires. So,
okay.
I don't know, man. I truly cannot peg why it wasn't clicking because I'm like, look, I'm not great looking, but you are fucking me, so I'm going to assume I've cleared that hurdle with you. You know, like I haven't gotten fatter in this time. Like I was just fat amount X. I'm still fat amount X a year later.
You guys dated for that long?
We dated 3.5 years, dude, and we barely fucked after year 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Again, I figured by my logic, I was like, I'm not getting laid either way. I don't fucking really care to go out and get it.
Yeah, but I think if I were in a relationship with somebody and the sex stopped,
it really can crush your ego, dude. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to dig out from that. Like, to be like, fuck, I was dating.
Yeah, but that you should, at this, I think during it, yeah. I would be like, okay, what's wrong with me? What's going on?
I mean, it was a non.
But once it's done, you
can't
you can't still be buried by it because you know what? Not your fault.
No, not really. And I mean, I think I could go out there and do, but it's just so. I have actually hit that point in my life where I used to think people would give this as a cop-out answer. We're like, I'm too busy to date. But now I look at it, I'm like, when the fuck would I? You know, like I try to perform
that's not true. You'd have
a week.
You'd have fun. You'd find time.
Room for someone.
You would find time.
But like,
yes.
I truly, I don't have the burning desire right now to like go out and make any sort of profile and then tend to that social media profile or whatever the fuck.
You should try to meet somebody like the old-fashioned way, like we used to have to.
And it doesn't work. It sucks because I'll say this: anyone so far that I've met via improv, like for the most part, just all taken.
Right.
And then if they do happen to be single, it's such a small ecosystem where you're like, fuck me, if this went tits up, that could really like, you know, queer the waters as it were.
You should try to date somebody that you break into their house.
I'd like that.
Or into their car or whatever.
I have tried a couple of times to be very, very lightly flirty after the fact with some customers. So far, nothing. But hey, I'm not going to.
Well, sometimes you just got to be like,
yeah.
Hey, I mean, I know where you live now.
Exactly.
And I can get into your house.
You saw how quickly I got in there.
We should probably just date.
Yeah.
Or else I have to come back
quietly too.
Yeah.
You know, fucking like a whisper, I'll be in there. Well, shit, you want to call it an episode?
But I'm sorry that I'm still. I was fascinated by and trying to rack my brain going back. And I mean, again, I've had.
Do you have a charger real fast for the Droid style?
Oh no! For which? For
the not the main recorder. The main recorder's fine. This
the
camera's seems to be on its way out. Let it die.
I'm sure I have one somewhere.
Who gives a shit? It went bye. So that's where the video will end.
There you go. Fine. So much for the video. Yeah. But I was trying to rack my brain on, like, I consider, like, the girl I dated for 6 months in high school doesn't count because we never had sex, so that doesn't count. But I had a 2-year relationship, then another probably 2-year relationship. I've probably had 4, including the one I'm in now.
Yeah.
There were like 3 others that I would consider like, okay, we dated for a long enough time that you would consider it a honest to God relationships. Again, 3 or 4 months over a summer or whatever, doesn't really count.
I mean, hell, by my standards, that might be in terms of length in the top 3.
Like, well, yeah, I mean,
realistically, yeah.
3.5 years is longer than.
3.5 years is my longest by far.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's longer than any of them except for the one I'm in now that I figure I'll be in until I die, which could be any day now. But
exactly, because the world's dying.
Because the world's dying, and I'm not going to be allowed to eat meat apparently soon, or take a plane. So I just was thinking back, and again, taking away all the random drunken college days, having the conversation with the person that you're dating, if you had that awkward moment of, well, hey, I don't want that there, and you shouldn't put this here, and I don't want that landing there. I mean,
that would have entailed actual communication. We just kind of weren't experiencing that.
How do you date somebody for 3.5 years and not communicate some of that stuff?
I think psychologically, I liked that barrier being there because it kind of let me be half-assed about things, to be quite honest. And I mean, if we're being honest, I was flirting around a lot. I wasn't sticking it around a lot, but I was fucking flirting a lot.
All right.
You know, like
you weren't into the relationship.
There was shit on my phone she wouldn't have been happy about. We'll put it that way.
You weren't serious about the relationship then, so.
I guess not, because it's really quick to mentally tap out when the sex stops. You know, it's a shit thing to say, but
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Once that sex stops, and even your friends are like, well, what makes you more than friends? And you're like, oh, I don't know, we peck each other on the cheek. You know, like, it's a hard question to answer.
If you guys were, staying at the hotel, or did you go on like little weekend trips or anything together?
So we would do that the first year-ish.
Okay, when the sex stopped, did you stop going on the trips and stuff?
Yeah, really quickly. Okay. Because I was like, this is when I was a little cheaper than I am now. I was like, okay, cool. I can pay $100 to not get fucked at McDonald's, at a bowling alley. You know, like, you want to see me burn $100 and not get fucked? I can do that too.
Well, I was trying to figure out, like, if you were at her house or wherever, like, if she went to take a shower, would you go in and like just sit and talk to her?
I think
she's like naked and getting dressed, or would she be like, "Hey, I'm taking a shower. Wait for me to."
She was very casual about nudity.
So that she didn't care about that. Okay, all right.
No, she was at home too.
Oh, yeah, it makes it tough.
Harder, yeah.
Yeah, it makes it tough to be like, hey, mom and dad, whoever, Sally and I are going upstairs. Don't mind the noise. I'm practicing. I'm going to be doing jumping jacks.
Her mom, very nice woman, and no one in the family is bad. I liked them all, honestly.
Right.
I don't think the mom would have given it much of a shit if we did. Like, she came to really like me.
Right. Were her mom and dad still having sex?
Her dad was gone. Like, he lived elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
But I got an actual gaslighting, to borrow like the term of 2016. Ugh. The first like 4 months of the relationship, I would just come over in the afternoon. We would fuck for a bit, and then we'd get some grub. About a year into like the no sex, I kind of mentioned like,
hey, remember when we used to have sex all the time?
In this house.
Right.
And she looks me dead in the eye and goes, we've never had sex in this house. And like a fucking chill went down my back, brother.
Were you like,
was
there somebody else?
Yeah.
You have a twin sister that I don't know about?
I was like, look, we didn't do it a ton, but I'm like, we fucked in your house at least like 10 times. She's like, we've never fucked in this house. I was like,
you should have. That's when you should have said, well, we should start.
Yeah, exactly. Let's kick the fucking butt on these.
Then what are we waiting for?
Yeah.
Why are we not? Why are we not taking care of this?
That was bizarre, man. And again,
That's weird.
I don't say anything that's to get motherfucky. We just didn't click all that well in some ways, I guess. I don't know. It was fun for me to analyze. As shitty as that is to say about your actual time with someone, it was fun to sit back and try to logic puzzle your way through it.
Yeah, that sounds
bizarre.
The
answer to that logic puzzle? Life is short. Go somewhere where you get a good blowjob. And I got a place in New York for that.
Seems like reasonable advice, I suppose. I feel bad because we're not going to get to. We can save this for another time.
The camera died.
Well, yeah, I know, but
we've moved on.
I want to dive into this, and I want to give it more than like maybe 5-10 minutes since we're kind of wrapping up.
I'm looking to do this however much you want. I'm trying to do more pods. I got very lazy about the pods for a bit. I'm happy to scream in your house.
I'll hold this article on this D-bag in Baltimore that runs around and harasses people and is like, oh, but I do it for my
we can tease that then.
My
for the
Instagram.
Next time we're together. Maryland has had this weird modern streak, and I don't know if this story has gained national traction. I think it has, because I believe my beloved biracial Lester Holt has discussed it.
Okay.
Not this dude, but that Frederick family where my mom's
Yeah.
That like the mom and dad would pretty much torment their kids. And
Daddy 05, I think, was the name of the account or whatever.
I don't get how that's comedy, man. Like,
well, just like, I guess we can dive into this a little bit. It's just like the one that went viral, and it wasn't in Baltimore. I don't remember where it was, where the guy went out and like took a shotgun to his son's like PlayStation because his grades were bad and he was playing too many video games. So he took it out and he shot it in front of his kid and basically destroyed it. And the kid was like, legit like freaking out, crying and everything else. Well, don't get these then, Billy Bob. Boom, boom, and then that's the end of the PlayStation. This guy in Baltimore, basically, Markel Carter is his real name.
Okay.
But he basically follows people around in like the Mount Vernon area of Baltimore to just screw with them.
Lovely.
Yeah. His quote, and this is from the Washington Post from Wednesday the 13th. People told me I was really good at being annoying. Well, that's something to aspire to, sir. Yeah. I did it one time and it was funny, and then I was doing it to get a reaction out of people. Well, yeah, if you follow them around and screw with them, people aren't going to be happy about it.
It's idiotic.
Yeah. So he basically...
I don't get troll culture at all. Like
I don't either.
So low to the ground.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So, I mean, he's done really...
It's like comedy for very stupid people.
Yeah, I don't understand. So he got in trouble for it. He was he got harassment charges, 5 counts of harassment, 16 counts of trespassing.
Good.
So I hope he gets nailed. And he said, he goes, let me see another one of his quotes that I was like, oh my gosh. Because they're all now using the, I'm addicted to social media, man. I'm addicted to social media. Here it is. So many people came to me and told me, you're the funniest guy. You've got to keep going, when he decided not to do it.
This is when you learn all feedback is worthless.
Right. Then you realize you're getting less attention doing the music, because he decided he would do music instead of his troll videos.
Yes.
And then he said, when you post a video on Twitter and it gets 2 million views in 4 hours, I just kept doing it. All the likes someone gets really does activate those brain reward centers, said Dr. Rachel Alinsky. It's an area that needs more research to characterize and treat it. Phones and social media will probably only become more prevalent, so we need to do better understanding of how to use these apps in a safe way.
I get it.
Here's an idea. Don't be a dick.
I've never had that amount of feedback on anything, so I could see... No, you know what? If anything ever took off for me, I'd just be like, cool, that was lightning in the bottle that one time. I wouldn't...
Yeah, I don't see how following somebody around, or I think one of the examples that they had in there was that he went into, crashed somebody's wedding and, stole drinks or interrupted the toast. Or it's like, that's not funny.
Yeah.
That you're just a dick.
Fuck anyone
at that point.
Yeah,
you're just a dick at that point. So... But we can dive into that
next
kind of culture
week.
Next
There's
time.
A teaser.
There you go. On the next episode. Well, I won't say that because you may have other episodes of Papa's Basement coming up. Who do you have coming up next week that we may get a chance to meet? I might get a chance to meet. You're definitely going to meet him.
Oh God.
Or work with him.
Did you have some point
the comedian coming in, or should we? Not,
oh yeah.
We're not teasing
next
that?
week there's a. Oh God, I forgot. It's John Lavermo, or I keep wanting to say Lavero, but that's not it.
That's Tom Lavero.
Yes.
It's not who it is. Let me see if I have it here, because you did text it to me.
I sent the name the other day. He was supposed to be in today. We're supposed to do a recording. He's actually performing live in D.C. I guess he was just kind of, I don't blame him, lazy about driving in and then doing an interview and then going to the city proper.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
But he's performing the next 2 weeks. He's coming back down next week, too. And that would be...
John Poveromo?
John Poveromo.
Poveromo?
Yeah, good Irish.
Poveromo.
Yeah, John was supposed to be on this week. So hopefully next week we'll do a live episode of John Poveromo.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to look up his stuff.
Me too. His representation was very thorough. Sent some videos and junk like that. If he were in, I was going to have watched all that crap last night to catch up on the dude. But yeah, maybe for next week. Hopefully we got him.
That'll work.
Well, Bill,
awesome.
If you want to do the whole at
Bill, oh, yeah, easy enough. Just Twitter, at Bill Rohalnd. Roland with an H, Rohland. So at Bill Rohalnd. And if you want, you can follow me on Instagram. You will be very bored. I'll see your stuff. Mm-hmm. I post pretty much nothing. I just follow people and
I keep forgetting. Is it the same?
It's at Bill Rohalnd, okay. Yeah. I'm not insulted if you don't, because again, you're not going to get any content from me at this point. Because
right. Then I'm going to keep that ratio.
I just follow people, and I'm on there so I can see my friends and the family vacations that they take. I'm I want to put. I go. Ooh, this would be great to put on. I don't.
I hate Insta.
And I just go. I don't care.
It's how you promote shit, I guess.
I'm not. I gotta do a better job of it.
Here, you know what? We're gonna record a video right now.
Oh, we are?
Real fast of you motherfucking Instagram.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not. I mean, I'm not
Instagram.
anti-Instagram. I don't put anything up on my Instagram. You know who's really good at Instagram is do you remember Talib Bab from JFK?
Hold on, this fucking thing is still seizing up. I love my old iPhone, by the way. All right. What does Talib do on Instagram? Because, by the way, I knew him only from UCB. We randomly were in a class.
Oh,
together.
okay.
Yeah.
He does. Well, he does a lot of. He does a YouTube thing every Monday.
Okay.
Called the name of it is called.
Good?
I think. Are you good? Yeah, you good. Hey, have you watched those? They're very funny.
I gave him likes, but I have not watched.
Yeah, you gotta watch because I mean, every once in a while they're all pretty good. Okay. Every once in a while he'll have one that you're like, brilliant.
Really?
It's really, really funny. He basically plays like a guy who's supposed to be a psychologist or whatever. People are coming to again, are you good? Yeah. People are supposedly coming to him with their problems, and a lot of the time the problems are just they're not real problems. I mean, it's other comedians that are coming into it. It's really, really well done. So shout out for Talib. I always check them out on Monday. They're very good.
All right,
I enjoy it.
All
Is
right.
that my Instagram 30-second
well,
whatever?
I'll cut that into something. All right, everyone. That was Papa's Basement. We are out of here.